My name is Muriel Reed. I am Eileen's oldest friend, Canadian friend. We've known each other for over 40 years, more than half our lives. That, I believe, is the definition of friendship. We have survived all of the changes and challenges that happen in that length of time, and still we look forward to seeing each other or chatting on the phone, even after all these years. I think one could say we are family. Each one of you has your own special memories of Eileen and the difference that she made in your life. She touched so many lives. I want to tell you about the Eileen I knew and her part in my life. It is still very difficult for me to speak of Eileen in the past tense, so I decided to write a letter and just talk to her. And I'm sure she's listening. Dear Eileen, I am home in Vancouver, so very far away. I have had a text from Claire and then from Linda telling me that you have quietly and gently slipped away from us. I am so thankful that the girls were with you. You were never alone, my dear friend, so you did not have to face this difficult journey by yourself. You were loved and supported all the way, and now you are missed. I am thankful that you were not sick for very long. I am profoundly sad that you have left us so early, and perhaps a little angry at the unfairness of it all. Now I am writing this letter, wondering how I can tell your daughters, grandchildren, and friends about the amazing person you were to me, the amazing person I have known forever. Everyone knows, of course, that you were born in England and came to Canada in 1978, and they know the often told story of how you went to a newcomers club meeting, and that is how we met. You were the only one who said not just, we should get together, but you said, let's have coffee tomorrow, 10:30, my house. I was thrilled. I had been so lonely, I'd almost kidnapped the Avon lady just to get her into my house to have a cup of tea and talk some actual adult talk. We had so many fun times in Markham. We had a great circle of friends, and we did lots of fun things together. And then the moves came. We were transferred to Vancouver with our company, and your family was moving to Japan. Part of your move was spending 6 weeks with us in Langley, where your kids went to school with my kids, and they had all sorts of fun and got into all sorts of mischief, as only 5 little girls can do. Then there were the cabin years. Every year for 8 years, we would spend 2 weeks vacation time at our summer place in Nelson. My beautiful valley that seems to stretch forever when you're standing on the front porch looking out at the lake. We had 8 wonderful summers and 8 different adventures each year. One year you brought Claire and her friend. We had so much fun exploring Nelson again, checking out Baker Street and all the little shops, and making a special trip to Selmo as Claire was into quilting at the time. Then, as often happens, life changes, and we move on to different chapters in our book of life. But you continue to visit, and we continue to have adventures. I came and stayed with you when Linda got married. You were still in your house in Markham, and it was full. Your sister Pat came from England for the wedding, and what a good time we had. However, the sleeping arrangements were less than perfect. You and Pat were in your room. You were fine. I was on the floor in the living room with the cats. Oh my goodness. 3 cats that wanted to either get into your room wisely you'd shut the door, or they wanted to snuggle or play or whatever with me. One thing they certainly did not want to do was sleep. It was a very long night. We rented a cottage on Hornby Island and spent a week there. Another visit, we rented a car and drove to Tofino to visit with Emily and spend some time with her. Another time, I visited and stayed with you in your lovely apartment in Thornhill. We visited with Linda and Julie and took a drive up north of Toronto to visit a friend of yours. All great adventures, lots of laughters, and lots of story. Now I am home after my last visit with you. I stayed in your apartment and I missed you. I looked around at your lovely home, and every corner is filled with you and pieces of your life. Your life was your family, your girls, Julie, Linda, and Claire, and their families. Linda's husband, Roger, your grandchildren, Emily, Thomas, and Ian, Natalie and Dominique, and Drew and Jake. Also your friends. You had so many. You gathered people around you. You were always ready to share a cup of tea or a glass of wine with me, and, of course, a drink of good scotch with David. Eileen, your life has been a success. You have had sadness and difficult challenges to deal with, but you always handled life straight on. Not always easy to do. Sometimes you were very outspoken, but you were always honest, and you were not afraid to face and deal with the hard stuff. Most of all, you had a good heart, and you loved with your whole heart, completely. You were my dear friend. We did not always agree, but we always knew where we were there for each other, no matter what. When David was so sick, I called, and you came. You sat with me at the hospital and listened to me while I shared my fears, and you held my hand while I cried. Now I have tried to give back. I have been able to sit with you and hold your hand and share our adventures all over again, saying, remember this, remember when we did this. I've brought messages from my family, David sending his love, and my girls sending their love, saying, Mom, you tell Mrs. Parker of all your friends, she's our favorite. I talked to you about all of the books we have read and shared. And we talked about all of your wonderful clothes and all the shopping trips we've taken. And mostly I talked about that we cared for each other and how much I was going to miss you. I have spent time with your girls, watching them as they face this challenge together, sharing this load. We have hugged and cried, laughed, told stories and cried again. But we were together. We were there, close to you. I am sorry that I cannot be with your family and friends today, but I am thankful that I had my time with you and your family before you passed. You have left a huge empty space, my friend. Remember how we would talk on the phone and end our conversations with, "This is what I'm going to do today." Well, this is what I am going to do. When I am reading a book or having a cup of tea and I think of you, I will see your face and I will feel you in my heart, and I will believe that you have come to visit me. I will stop and I will chat with you. I will tell you about my day, and when I am finished, I will tell you that I loved you as a friend and I admired you as the most marvelous person, and I will thank you for the decades of memories that we have shared. And I know that all of your family, your children, and your grandchildren and all of your friends that love you so much will do the same. God bless my dear friend. Safe travels. You will be missed. Love, Muriel.